Hey y'all, I'm Miss Smith and happy Wednesday. I'm going to walk you through what we're doing today in class. So if you're virtual or if you're in class and want to watch this video later to help refresh you on what we did, just come back to this. Okay, so today, let me share my screen with you. Not that, the PowerPoint. Okay, so first you should find today's bell work on Canvas. Okay, so it should look like this. I'm going to walk you through that. So on Canvas, yes, okay, here we are. So I have changed the way Canvas looks a little bit. You have a vocabulary practice assignment at the top of your Canvas homepage, your English homepage, because this is something that I will start assigning on Mondays, and it will be due at the end of the day on Friday. But for this week, we're starting it today on Wednesday because things have been a little chaotic. But anyways, so I've changed things. So you will see each date, and it's got a big blue dot beside it so that stands out. And then what you've got assigned for every day is beneath there, okay? So your video will tell you exactly what to do every day. So today's Wednesday. I haven't put the video up yet because obviously I'm making it right now. So bell work is right here. We're going to click that. And then you should be able to load it into Kami right away. Okay, so it should look like this. You don't need to run OCR unless you want to listen to it. I showed you that yesterday. So now I'm going to walk you through the bell work. Okay, so wordiness and redundancy is really important to avoid in English. Or in English class, you're writing, you're speaking, you're communicating. Okay, so strong writers get their point across in the most concise way possible. And concise means in just a few words. Keep words in a sentence if they are a key idea or description and if they are necessary to be grammatically correct. So let's look through these examples below. Y'all don't really say being that very much, but anything that could be shortened to because, just shorten it to because. This one right here, being of him, her, being, y'all don't really use that one either, so we're gonna just ignore that one. You probably have heard people say due to the fact that, and they could shorten it to since or because. I like to use because since to me is a time word, like since yesterday or since last month. So I like to use because instead of since. And then according to, you can shorten that to per. As a result, you can shorten to thus. With the exception of, you can just shorten to except. You don't need to say with the exception of. And then very. Anything that you put very in front of can be changed to a different word. So very hungry could be starving, very tired could be exhausted, very pretty could be beautiful, very sad could be devastated. So anything that you can shorten is better. All right, so we're going to retype the wordy examples below into concise sentences. So I'm going to read them and then I'm going to help you shorten them. For all intents and purposes, the reason Bridget arrived late for math class was due to the fact that she stopped in the hall to speak with many classmates who are on her soccer team. So the first thing that we can take out of this is for all intents and purposes. So I'm going to mark stuff out. I've got my key right here where I did it earlier. So I'm going to mark stuff out while we go. So I'm going to use just a little drawing. We don't need for all intents and purposes, and we don't need the reason because we already have due to the fact that. So Bridget arrived late for math class, and then due to the fact that can be changed to because. So we're going to mark that out, and then when we type it, oops, that was kind of bad. When we type it, we'll put because. So Bridget was late for math class because Bridget arrived late for math class because she stopped in the hall to speak with many teammates who were on her soccer team. Now you need to think, what can you change at the end of this? Many teammates who are on her soccer team. You can change that to, she stopped in the hall to speak with many of her soccer teammates. Okay, so we're going to mark that out and we're going to shorten it. So let's get our text box and then going to start typing. Actually going to type a little bit bigger if I can. And then use some bold so that you can see it. Okay, so Bridget arrived late for math class, and we don't need a comma before because, so because she stopped in the hall to speak with many of her soccer teammates. And I'm going to stretch that text box out so that we can see number 2. And it won't stretch that way, so I'll stretch it the other way. Give me just a second. Okay, it's fine to cover up this on the left because we've already gone over that. All right, and then I'm thinking. All right, number 2, let's just go on to number 2. In my opinion, he is a man who is generally well respected in town. The reason is because he is very kind. So we can take a whole lot out of this sentence. In my opinion, we don't really need that, so I'm going to use back to my drawing. This helps me think. We don't need in my opinion. He is a man who's generally well respected in town. The reason is because he is very kind. So we have a compound sentence here because it has a semicolon. We don't need a compound sentence. We can shorten this to more of a simple sentence. Actually, it'll be complex, but anyways. Okay, so he is a man who is generally well respected in town. We can shorten that to he is well respected. We don't even need to know that he's a man because he is obviously male. So he is a male pronoun. He, and we don't need who, is generally well respected in town. We don't really need generally because in town would imply the same thing. So he is well respected in town because we don't need the reason is because means the reason is, and we don't need a semicolon because he is very kind. We can just take out kind and we can take out very, and you could change it to another word. So you could say charitable was one we used earlier, generous. You can Google any synonyms for very kind and then that should give you something, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and type. And I'm gonna start it over here. He is well respected in town because he is charitable. Okay, so I'm going to stretch this box out. Maybe it'll let me. There we go. Okay, he is well respected in town because he is charitable. All right, or you could just say kind if you wanted to keep it simple. That's fine. All right, the book Mockingbird had an effect on Samantha due to the fact that it taught her empathy. And y'all, my vent just came on, so I hope you can still hear me over that. So we're going to leave the book Mockingbird because we need to know that Mockingbird is a book, and we need to know what the book is called. Had an effect on Samantha. We can just change that to affected Samantha. So let me go back to my drawing. Okay, and we're just going to take out had and we'll add an ed to that. Affected Samantha due to the fact that it taught her empathy. We can change due to the fact that to because. So we put a little BC there for because for just a minute, and we'll change that to because. So the book Mockingbird affected Samantha because it taught her sympathy. we can change that to active voice. So it taught her sympathy could be changed to she learned empathy. And I did not mean to say sympathy earlier. So we're going to change that altogether. So she learned empathy. And I'm actually going to erase that. Okay. So text box. The book Mockingbird affected Samantha because she learned empathy. Okay? You really could leave because it taught her empathy. That would be fine too. It's only one more little word, so it's not a huge deal. But if you want to shorten it the most, you can shorten it to this. All right, so now our writing is less redundant and is more concise. It is also less wordy. So it makes it a lot easier for people to understand and read. So when you're done, press submit in the top right-hand corner. Okay, I am going to stop with the bell work, and we are going to move on to the next thing. So let me find my PowerPoint. Okay, so now you need to work on the iReady diagnostic. When you are done with the iReady diagnostic, you're going to do this. You're going to find the vocabulary practice assignment on Canvas. Okay, let me get back to Canvas. I'm gonna go to the home page. Okay, so it is this very first thing. Our focus word for this week is acknowledge. The English teachers and I decided that instead of giving you a whole list of vocabulary words each week that you're probably gonna forget at the end of the week, we're gonna start giving you one focus word a week. So we've looked at a list of vocabulary words that 7th graders should know, and we decided that we would pick one for each week of school. So we have roughly 36 weeks of school. So we picked 36 words that we thought would really help you in your reading and your writing and your test taking. So our first one is acknowledge. It's right there. So you can click on this assignment. Honor students, your assignment is going to look a little bit different, okay? So load this in a new window on Kami. Y'all absolutely love Kami because it allows me to put worksheets online for you, and then I don't have to pick them up physically and get all your germs. No offense, love you, but we don't need each other's germs. Okay, so when you pull it up, it's going to be sideways. I tried to fix it before, but for some reason it wouldn't. So you're going to click menu over here, this thing with 3 lines, and you're going to rotate counterclockwise. So we're going to turn it back this way. Okay, so now it should look like this. All right, and close my menu. Okay, so you're going to fill in all these little things. I'm going to go over here real quick and show you the example. You go back to the Canvas English homepage. It is vocabulary practice examples. And it's almost there. Any day now. Okay, there we go. So this is what the honors one looks like. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more complicated, but you can get the general gist of it from this. I do not have an example yet of what the regular classes are doing. Okay, so your word is acknowledge. So you're going to write it right here. And then it says choose one of your vocabulary words, but you don't get to choose. It's just acknowledge. So you're going to use your imagination to answer these questions. So illustration. Draw an example of this word. If you're terrible at drawing, I understand. Go find a picture of something that would show that word. I don't want you to just write this word in a cool font. I want you to draw something that would demonstrate that word. All right, then you're going to have to Google the definition of acknowledge, and you're going to write it right here. And then you're going to put the part of speech. So is it a noun, verb, adjective, whatever. And then this word makes me think of, and I want you to write in here what it makes you think of, okay? It could be a person, place, thing, or event. And then song track. If this word had its own soundtrack. What songs would it contain? So list at least 3 songs and provide explanations. So you can Google songs that include the word acknowledge. You could Google songs that include synonyms of acknowledge, or you could just kind of think of the songs that have to do something with that definition. So give me the title and then give me an explanation. It doesn't have to be complicated. 1 sentence is fine. So do 1, 2, and 3. And then a social media post. Create a social media post using this word. You can use a drawing or an image. Either one is fine. But the caption must be your own writing. It can be from any social media platform. Be creative and demonstrate your understanding of the word. So it could be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever. Whatever you want to use. And you don't have to actually get on that social media if you don't have that social media. You can just make it look like that, okay? So you could get the logo for Twitter and put it right here and then just put a tweet, okay? So it's up to you. And then at the top, there should be a submit button for y'all, and just press submit. So anytime you're done with an assignment on Kami, please just make sure that you press submit so that I get it, okay? So remember that this comes after your iReady diagnostic, okay? Your iReady diagnostic is much more important, and I'm hopefully taking this for a test grade, so please do your best. And then you can work on your vocabulary practice assignment. It will be due Friday night at 11:59 p.m., but you can turn it in earlier. All right, if y'all have any questions, please message me on Canvas. I would love to help you, and I love you bunches. Okay, bye.